Hello and welcome to the Balancing Act Philadelphia edition. I'm Montel Williams. We're bringing you community stories and introducing you to businesses and people who are making a difference. So let's see who's making a difference right here in your neighborhood.
On this episode of The Balancing Act, we'll visit an all-inclusive memory care community whose specialized approach provides residents with the extra support, services, and amenities they need. Today on The Balancing Act.
Are you caring for an elderly loved one? You won't want to miss this.
With the aging population, the demand for memory care services is rising rapidly. Every individual deserves to live with dignity, joy, and connection, especially when facing the challenges of memory-related conditions like Alzheimer's or dementia. Join us as we learn how tailored memory care not only supports individuals, but also brings comfort and peace of mind to their families.
Fox Trail Memory Care is the largest standalone memory care community in the state of New Jersey. We have 14 locations to serve our residents that span from northern Jersey all the way down to southern Jersey. Here at Fox Trail, our sole and only purpose is to help those who have Alzheimer's, dementia, and other forms of cognitive decline, as opposed to assisted living where memory care is an add-on component. Our small home-like environments allow us to have a resident to care staff ratio that is unmatched in the industry.
Memory care is essential for any individual that is struggling with any type or form of cognitive impairment. It's completely natural for a family to feel some form of hesitation when considering moving their loved one into a memory care home or any form of assisted living. Some of the fears are that their family member will be abandoned or feel isolated or forget who they are. The other fear is that why aren't they doing enough for them, or why can't they do enough for them at home? I think listening and talking to the families and getting to the core of what their fear actually is and finding out what would make the family feel more comfortable. What exactly is it that they are looking for? And only the family member can tell us exactly what they feel and what would make them comfortable, what would bring them peace of mind and bringing them into one of our homes. I think it's important to make sure that we invite the families to come take a look. It's always surprising to them when they walk into our cozy, warm, like homes with backyards, picket fences, and then they're like, wow, this is not what I was expecting. They're like, this is just like home. A resident can walk freely and safe throughout the home as it was designed in a square where a resident can walk around and come right back into the living room area. This also helps in them not getting agitated or feeling lost, which can happen a lot. Our goal is to protect and support our residents while still respecting their autonomy and independence. Because of the smaller home-like environment, it allows us to have eyes on the residents at all times. We meet the resident where they're at. We want to allow the resident to do as much as they can for as long as they can.
With several wonderful memory care communities located throughout New Jersey, Fox Trail Memory Care Living is deeply committed to providing compassionate, personalized care.
We are unique when compared to others for our small home-like intimate environments. We have 2 staff and a community director that really get to know on an individual basis the residents that live in our communities. Our resident total maxes out at 15 to 16 residents. That alone allows us to truly gain an understanding of what an individual resident needs, what their likes are, their dislikes, and what's going to continue to help them progress. They get to know the staff, they know their names, they know their faces, they have individualized care plans that are done. The small environment makes them feel comfortable. It's less scary than a very large open environment. It truly feels like a home. Unlike transitioning into an assisted living, transitioning into one of our memory care homes literally feels like you're moving from one side of your home to another. That environment allows them to grow accustomed to the things that are around them, that be the objects, that be where their room is located, where the dining room is located. These particular communities actually have walking paths that allow the resident to safely wander all the way around the community and always end up in a safe spot. When you go into a much larger assisted living or even a memory care component of an assisted living, the building is much, much larger and it's much easier for the residents to get lost.
Our SPARK programming gives residents an opportunity to move throughout our communities and experience life in a way that is creative, adventurous, and full of wonderful experiences. The SPARK programming is based upon 7 dimensions of wellness, creating a nice balance for all of our residents in programs and activities and just their way of life. Some of our SPARK partnerships that we're really excited about are with InTouch Link, Life Biomemory, Drew University, and countless other colleges, universities, and high schools in and around the area. We collaborated recently with Drew University, one of our longstanding partners, on a research project involving robotic companions. Scholarship students came into our homes and did a study with Ageless Innovations, Joy for All Pets, to see and study the effects that having robotic companions during sundowning hours would help reduce the symptoms of agitation, loneliness, and depression. Integrating technology into memory care is not something that you typically see, which makes us a little bit different. In our homes, you will see digital storytelling, robotic companions offering pet therapy, and even VR headsets with very engaging and experiential programming. Our person-centered approach to wellness focuses on the whole person, bringing in not only physical wellness and social and emotional, which is important, but also environmental, spiritual, vocational, and even intellectual wellness.
The way I get to know each of the residents is by communicating with the family members, interviewing the residents, knowing what they like, what they do not like. You see them every day and you get to learn their behaviors. In my community, Mawa location specifically, we have residents who have different likes and dislikes of activities. So not all residents fit in one activity. Some residents like to read, some residents like to draw, some residents like to watch football, some residents like to dance ballet. We have one unique program at Mawa, which is listening to music and watching one of our residents dance to the ballet music. We play the music, and the resident, the minute she hears the music, even though she cannot see, she starts just the movements, the dancing, the emotion, you can see it in her face. We have one device in my community, it's called an OB. This OB projects onto a table, a white table, and the residents will sit there, multiple residents. It can be interactive. You can have 1, 2, 3, even 5 residents playing the same game. They could be coloring, they could be doing bingo, they could be doing word puzzles. So it's interactive. At Mawa, we have social activities will include like inviting a pastor or a priest or someone, a religious person to come in and interact with our residents. Sometimes we have family gatherings, we have musicians that come in and play music for residents. We have volunteers that come in and do one-to-one activity with the residents. As a community director and also as an LPN, care coordination with our care staff is very important. Getting them to learn to know how to take care of the residents, getting them to know how to take care of their needs is very important. And this is where in-servicing them every month comes in, giving them new materials, giving them tools to use is very important.
We have some unique programs and activities that we offer at Fox Trail Memory Care. We attempt to tap into all of the senses, whether that is through music therapy, pet therapy, art projects, or just simple group conversations. One of my favorite programs would be arts and crafts with our residents. We do like to make some crafty pictures. We like to do coloring. If we showcase some painting and examples of paintings, they're able to replicate that, and it's really neat to hang those pictures up for the families to enjoy when they come into the communities. Some social activities that we have to offer would be our group meals. We'll do group discussions. We'll try to draw on memory, maybe show some pictures. Recreationally, we do have chair yoga. We'll do some dance parties. And culturally, we celebrate holidays, birthdays. We do bring in live music. We'll have local musicians come and play some music for the residents. So we do have a wide variety of activities that we can offer.
Family involvement is at the core of everything that we do. We believe that a true partnership between us, the family, and the resident, along with our staff, is crucial to ensuring that the resident receives the best care possible. Let's start with the community directors that we have put in place in each of these homes. They have 24/7 access to these community directors. These community directors are an extension of that family. They are there to advocate for the resident. They are there to schedule doctor's appointments. They are there to notice when there's any change in condition and communicate that to the family so that we can proactively find a way to help that resident. The support starts from the moment they step foot in our homes. We want to hear their story. We want to hear what they have to say, what they've been going through, what they've been dealing with, so that we can best support them and tailor our care plan to their loved one. Education is huge. I wasn't educated when it was my turn, when it happened to me. And so I try to pay it forward, and my team pays it forward every day, and making sure that these families are truly educated and understanding where it is and where it's going. Supporting families is just as important as supporting the resident.
Fox Trail was originally licensed under the Department of Community Affairs as a Class C boarding home. When we began to specialize in caring for those that had Alzheimer's, dementia, and other cognitive disorders, it was decided that our population, as well as our organization, was going to be best served being under the Department of Health. The Dementia Care Home regulation, created by the Department of Health, mirrors the regulation that they have for an assisted living community, meaning that the scope of regulatory practices that we need to follow is greater under the Department of Health and is of best benefit to our residents and their families.
Several health programs have been successfully implemented within the Fox Trail Memory Care Living community.
The HOPE program was designed for all-encompassing care for the residents that live within our communities. It is very difficult when residents have cognitive disorders, Alzheimer's or dementia, to keep taking them out of the community to doctor's appointments, to hospitals, to rehabs. It becomes critically important that we have the staff or the medical capabilities to see them bedside in our communities. That was one of the founding reasons that we created the HOPE program. The additional reason that the HOPE program was created is because there was a definite need to have psychological interventions in our communities. What we have found by having a psychiatric director is that it eliminates the resident from being bounced around from community to community. It truly solves the problem within the community, but also allows the resident to get the care that they needed.
I'm the psychiatric director for the facility. I provide full services to the patient from admission to treatment, care planning, and providing psychiatric care and mental health care throughout their stay. Once the resident arrives to our building, they receive a full psychiatric evaluation to determine their individual needs for cognitive training or cognitive therapy and psychiatric management of pharmacological and non-pharmacological approach to it. The non-pharmacological approaches to enhance the function is keeping the resident engaged in multiple activity levels, physical and mental. The mental activities will be included in all the day-to-day work, including the groups they attend, the recreational activities, word finding. Also, the physical activities will be as important to maintain their mental health. Family intervention really in any patients with dementia is paramount because the family comes initially in a very distressed state of mind. They don't understand how fast things are happening. They don't understand the changes that are happening in their loved one's life. Understanding the disease process and going through psychoeducation about where they are, where they were, what to expect in the future is very important. That will include things like also medical legal aspects of it, power of attorney, legal guardianships, how to gain control over their loved one's life when the control is being lost by the dementia.
As the medical director of Fox Trails Memory Care, I'm intimately involved with the facilities, with the staff on all different levels. We monitor the progression of dementia by careful communication and observation. A lot of it is monitoring how people are able to take care of themselves, dress themselves, take themselves to the bathroom, and when they need more and more help. We also monitor how they're eating their food, how they're participating with activities, if they're sleeping through the night, if they're simply pleasant during the day and not grumpy, if they're sleepy during the day, or if they're not participating with communication, or if they have new conditions that evolve. There's many things that happen. Sometimes people stop eating, and we try to think outside the box to get people eating again. The foods here are delicious. They cook the foods daily, and just the participation in a small dining room environment really helps people gain their weight back and really enjoy their food because the food's cooked and smells delicious all the time. A lot of people ask me, how do you make this work? And a lot of it is instant communication, being very close with the staff at each building. A lot of it is paying attention to what patients need, asking families constantly, are they okay? Are things okay? What can we do better? And with that, going back to the home office and thinking as a team what we can do better.
While independent living is a key part of empowering residents, fostering a sense of connection through community is just as vital.
The YES program stands for Youth Empowering Seniors. It's an intergenerational youth volunteer program designed to really bring energy and spirit into the lives of people living with Alzheimer's and dementia. When the youthful spirit enters our community, our residents' faces just light up. But at the same time, when our youth are volunteering in our homes, little do they know their mental health is being positively impacted. The students who participate in our YES program have shown tremendous growth during the time that they've been in our communities. They've gained a sense of confidence, they've gained a sense of empathy and what it's like to really care and nurture others. They've gained a lot of skills along the way in leadership and learned a lot about themselves just even on a personal level.
I joined the YES program initially because I have a very strong relationship with my grandparents, and I wanted to seek out those bonds and community bonds outside of my family. If another student was thinking of doing the YES program, I would 100% encourage them to join. I have learned so much and expanded my worldview by participating in this program, and I think everybody can benefit from it.
Transitions are an inevitable part of memory care. As a resident's needs evolve, we work with the family to help make that transition as smooth as possible for not just the resident, but for the family as well. Our team is trained to recognize when these changes happen. So we work together with our medical director and our psychiatric director in finding the best way to assist this resident, whether it be dietary changes that are needed, whether it be physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy. We all work together to find what the best method will be. We regularly assess physical health, cognitive function, and emotional well-being.
My name is John, and I've been here as a resident for over 2 years. Oh, I love it here. People are nice, friendly. The staff are terrific. They're a lot of fun, and I think they're excellent.
The passion that I have for this organization is that I truly feel like we are making the difference in the lives of the families and the residents that we serve. We want to be able to reach even more people and even more individuals. We offer everything from support groups to families that don't live within the walls of our buildings, to memory bars for individuals who don't want to be in support groups, to assessments that can be done outside of our communities to actually living in our community. I truly love to work here because I'm very passionate about the residents that we take care of, about the team that we have, about the trainings that we do internally. I am constantly overjoyed and in love with the team that we have working here. They work so hard, and a lot of them have been with us for a really long time. I could not ask for a better team. I could not ask for a better group of residents or families, and I'm truly appreciative of being able to serve the senior population.
For more information about Fox Trail Memory Care Living, visit the website at foxtrailmemorycare.com or see the segment again on thebalancingact.com.
Thanks for joining us on The Balancing Act. We'll see you next time.